Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video we're going to discuss and review the HBO sneak peek of Season 4 of Game of Thrones. Okay guys, welcome back. So didn't get to see this Sunday night on HBO because obviously big Walking Dead fan and I was watching that, but I finally got to catch up with it and I saw the 15-minute special that HBO had sneak peeking the next season of Game of Thrones, and it was very exciting to see. They went through like a series of interviewing different cast members and talking about the new season, but also talking about some of the more finer moments behind the set. There was a nice comical scene with Tyrion Lannister and Jaime Lannister going down the aisle in the throne room, or I believe it was the throne room. It looked like it was going to be some sort of court session, for lack of a better term, and they were kind of dancing their way down the aisle, and it was really funny. And but they really, to focus more on what they were discussing in terms of the show, it looks like Daenerys is going to be going through a lot of struggle with not only trying to control her dragons, but also trying to control the people that she actually freed. And she, she spoke about revolt against her by the people that she freed. And it looks like the quote that she made to Jorah in terms of, live in my world or die in their old world, was more referring to the people she freed as opposed to referring to the Lannisters, which I believe some people had assumed. We see Jaime obviously has a lot of love for Tyrion. Looks like Cersei seems to resent him for that. They showed a scene where she spoke about him loving Tyrion and she saying that Tyrion would kill them all without even thinking twice, which obviously is not true. As much as Tyrion may hate his father or hate Cersei and even Joffrey, whether or not he'll go as far as to kill them, I just don't get that from him. But who knows? I know there's a lot of book readers out there who would probably know the real deal behind that. But once again, as I've mentioned before in my videos, the comment section will be set for approval to avoid any trolls coming in here and trying to spoil the season for those who have not read the book. I have not read the book. I know there's a lot of viewers out there that haven't read the book, so we want to obviously save ourselves from being spoiled. So that's why the comments are set to approval, just so you guys know. So we spoke about Daenerys, obviously Jaime and Tyrion, their relationship. Tyrion, they were describing how he was going to be in a position where he's going to constantly look out for himself. And, that's something I spoke about before. Tyrion is always has his back against the wall. The only difference is they made it sound like this season he's not going to have that ability to get himself out of it like he has in the past. Again, that's something I mentioned in my last video when talking about Tyrion's dilemma. Makes perfect sense. Obviously, his family, with the exception of Jaime, are not very fond of him. They focused on Jon Snow. Obviously, there's going to be a big war between them and the wildlings. We all know this. Jon looks like he's going to play a focal point in that war, but they also touched upon his relationship with Sam, and we know that him and Sam have been gone from each other for a while, so there's going to be some things that maybe they share. There's a scene where it looks like Sam questioning him and commenting on his feelings regarding Jon Snow's relationship with Ygritte. So that'll be interesting to see how their relationship pans out. We know they were very close from day one, where Jon looked out for him. The way the the actors describe their relationship is that it's rocky, but it's still very much a good friendship. So that's a good thing to see. And I like Sam. Sam is another character that seems to be gaining more importance as the seasons pass by. So it looks like he's going to play a pretty significant role. They were interviewing the actor who plays Hodor, and I think the one thing I saw that was pretty interesting is he was battered all over his face. He had cuts, scars, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be interesting to see who he struggles with, or what he struggles with to get those battle wounds. So that'll be interesting to see as well, because Hodor has never really, at least as far as I can remember, has never really been involved in any kind of fighting. I could be wrong. There's just so much content in this show that to remember everything is nearly impossible. But as far as I can remember, I don't remember him being involved in any major fights. And he kind of strikes me as a big chicken, a big softy. So it'll be interesting to see what triggers him to get into a brawl with somebody to protect Starkchild he's with. Now, the other interesting thing was they really showed a lot of footage of the wedding with Joffrey and Marjorie. And as some of you have seen my videos before, I'm a big Marjorie fan. She's climbed that favorite list of mine personally. It looks like there's a grand wedding. And of course, Joffrey back to his no good antics and talking trash. They had a scene with him and Jaime. They expanded on the scene from the trailer. Joffrey tells Jaime, I'm sorry you missed the war, or something along those lines. Jaime was like, yeah, well, I was kind of busy. And then Joffrey's like, yeah, busy being captured. And I'm like, wow, just take that brass hand of yours and smack this fucking kid across his face. And then it's funny, the characters touched upon how they feel about Joffrey. Like, they interviewed the cast members. The question was, does Joffrey have any redeeming qualities? And of course, they all said no, not at all. And he doesn't. He really doesn't. Some of the things he's done, there's just no coming back from that. So, redeeming qualities for Joffrey, nay. But if you haven't seen the 15-minute preview, and there's a lot of stuff in there that I miss. I mean, it's to cover every nook and cranny of the video would just make this video a little bit longer than I want it to be. But I just wanted to touch on some highlights there. They did give a quick glimpse of the dragon at the end, and I gotta say, it was, every season they obviously get bigger. It still doesn't look like it's full size, but it's definitely a lot bigger than it was the prior season. It was nice to see the 15 minutes. It really gets you jacked up for the season coming up. It looks like the little girl who plays Arya, and I don't remember her name, but one thing she did say was that this season the good guys come back. They talk about how the season really picks up faster this year than it has in prior seasons. So it looks like we're gonna, when the season starts, we're gonna kick right into high gear, and it looks like we're going to get maybe a little bit satisfaction from what we had to deal with last year with the Red Wedding. Peter Dinklage had mentioned when he was being interviewed was that whether people want to believe it or not, it sounds like that they actually top last year's Red Wedding. So I'm very interested to see how that's possible, because the Red Wedding was like the monumental moment of season 3. So very exciting stuff. It was a great 15-minute preview. A lot of content they fit in there in 15 minutes. If you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the bottom so you guys can go check it out. But Game of Thrones Season 4, I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait. We're in February, so we got a couple of months to go, but it'll be a lot of fun. You can expect me to do show reviews and at least one other video previewing the next episode. But until then, it's just a waiting game. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you next video.